So in the part 1 and part 2 of the digestive system, we have learned about the mouth, the esophagus, the teeth, the uvula, the different kinds of teeth, the pharynx, the peristalsis, the stomach, the tongue. That all we have studied. Okay, we have already studied. We will start from the stomach functions. Okay, before that, I would like you to show this slide once more. Yeah, please. Yeah, this one was our last slide in our part 2. We are starting from here. Stomach functions. It mainly churns, mixes, and stores food. It is a site of food breakdown using HCl and pepsin. The chemical breakdown of proteins begins and it delivers time processed food to the small intestine. Oh, it looks very boring. Yeah. So what it is that the stomach is the muscular organ which churns the food, mixes it, and stores it. Then it is the site of the breakdown of food using the HCl and pepsin. Pepsin is an enzyme basically. Then it is the muscular bag in our body or the muscular organ in our body from which the chemical breakdown of proteins begins. Okay, the proteins begin to break down chemically from this stomach. We'll study about the different breakdown of and the digestions of carbohydrates, proteins, and fats in another video. Today we'll just go through the functions and the rest of the part. And it delivers the chyme, the processed food, to the small intestine. Now you'll see that how this function is taking place through an animation, you may say, or through a video. Please wait a bit. Let me start it. So here it is the video. Please see it.
What exactly happens in our stomachs when we eat? Even before we have taken the first bite of a meal, the brain sends impulses to the stomach. These impulses start the production of secretions in the stomach, and the upper part of the stomach, which acts as a reservoir, expands. The food passes into the stomach through the cardia at the stomach entrance. This is a muscle that acts like a valve, closing the top of the stomach. The top part of the stomach, the fundus, is where food and the air that we swallow with every bite is collected. This is where the stomach volume starts to adapt. The fundus is an extremely adaptable structure. The more food goes into the stomach, the more it actively expands. In the middle part of the stomach, called the body, gastric juice is produced and mixed with the mass of chewed food. The main component of gastric juice is gastric acid. This eliminates bacteria in the food and also helps to prepare the food for the following stages of digestion. The muscular contractions of the stomach wall churn the food mass and mix it with gastric juice. 3 contractions per minute move the food mass back and forth. After a certain time, the contents of the stomach are adequately broken down and mixed, and are passed in small quantities into the intestine via the pylorus. As the stomach empties, it gradually returns to its previous size.
So this is the main function of the stomach. Now let's go to our slides. So now we will go to the small intestine. The small intestine is almost 7 meters long. It is the body's major digestive organ. It is held in place by mesentery. It consists of villi and microvilli, which allows the nutrient absorption into the blood. Now on the right hand side you can see the structure of the villi and the inner structures too, and just below it you can see the microvilli. So the small intestine is the starting point of the actual digestive uh, process. Okay, starting point of the actual digestive process. We'll know that why it is, because there are some breakdowns that we'll learn in another video, but now go through it, don't get distracted with that all. Now we'll go to the small intestine. Now we are going to the subdivisions of it. We have done the small intestine. Here are the subdivisions: the duodenum, the jejunum, and the ileum. The duodenum is stomach. It curves around the head of the pancreas. Somewhat here is, and here is what happens is the uh, which is covering the head of the pancreas. The jejunum. Jejunum and ileum we have seen here. Now we will go to a GIF. See what is there next. Okay, let's go. Let's go. Wait for a moment. Till then, let me tell you that the duodenum. So it came. The duodenum is attaching there. The middle portion is the jejunum, and the last portion is the ileum. You can see here in the GIF also. So that is the parietal sphincter. Then that is the duodenum which is attaching the stomach. The bolus is going. The bolus means the churned food which is there. Okay. So the middle portion is the jejunum, and see is attaching to the anterior portion of the duodenum, and the ileum is attached to the large intestine. This is the large intestine. The large intestine is almost 1.5 meters long and is wider than the small intestine. Now the question comes, we have seen if we compare the length, so large intestine is 1.5 meters and the small intestine is 7 meters. Now why are we calling this large intestine large? It's not because of the length but it's because of the width. You can see that here it is clearly written that it is wider than the small intestine. Now if the question comes that why do we call the large intestine or large even though it is having the less length and is shorter than small intestine? So the question, so the answer will be that in this case we call the large intestine large with respect to its width, not with respect to its length. So the small intestine is called the small and large intestine known as the large. First of all, this is the main naming this. So large intestine is 1.5 meters, which is also known as a colon. Or you can just say here is the ileocecal valve. Where is my somewhat here is the ileocecal valve. Okay, somewhat is the middle portion. We are having the ileocecal valve. So here is the ileocecal valve. See, this is the ileocecal valve. You can check it out. It is thicker but shorter than small intestine. Water absorption center and the rectum and anus stores and releases solid waste respectively. So rectum stores and releases the the rectum stores this solid waste and the anus just release the solid waste. So small intestine you have seen, large intestine you have seen. Now you will see this portion. Now the question comes that why have I given it here? Here you will see the box portion, that the ascending colon, the transverse colon, the descending colon, and the sigmoid column. These all are the subdivisions of the large intestine. Remember, subdivisions of the large intestine. Now, if the picture is given, which is what? Please tell us. So you can say that which is from this down, it is the ascending, means from down to top ascending. Then the one which is just a bent over, which is just, you may say that just it is attaching the ascending colon and it is going from the left to the right, that is the transverse colon. From the right which is coming down, that's the descending colon, and at the last portion that is the sigmoid colon. Okay, Done? Okay. So you can see here, first if we go to the left side, at the top you can see that duodenum is there and the villi are just taking the are absorbing the nutrients. Next, here is the ileocecal valve from which this food is again entering the, see here, it's the ileocecal valve from which the food is entering the large intestine. Then here is the cecum. Cecum is now doing some activities, is contracting to put this bolus of this churned food from the to the ascending colon via the sorry, to the ascending colon, to the transverse colon, then to the descending colon, the sigmoid colon, and finally to the rectum. You can see, so this is the number 1, you can say, the number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, and number 6. Just take a look of it. I'll wait for 30 seconds. Look. Yeah, you have seen. So let's go to the glands of the alimentary canal. So in the glands of the alimentary canal, we will see the salivary glands, the pancreas, the liver, and the gallbladder. First, we'll go to the salivary glands. It is saliva producing glands. Okay, salivary glands doesn't produce any water. Okay, it produces the saliva. So dumb point? No, it is not. It is a salivary producing gland also. It must be told that it is a salivary producing gland because there are many other enzymes like amylase, then pepsin, and other things are there. Okay, so that is why it is mentioned that the saliva the saliva breaks down the starches. And yeah, as I have told that we will uh, break down of with the carbohydrates, the starches also, the carbohydrates and starch, proteins and fats. We will see in the next gland. Question is, parotid glands are located anterior to the ears. See, you can see the parotid glands are anterior to the ears. You can see the picture here. Please see it here. This is the parotid glands which are located anterior to the ears. Next comes the submandibular. Now, where is this submandibular present? The submandibular are present just below the cheek, higher bone, you can say. It's just as the cheek portion. Here is the submandibular, and the sublingual are just below the tongue, you can say. Just below the tongue, you can say it. You can just see the picture and just get the idea of where it is present. One more thing, you just remember that the submandibular glands are also known as the submaxillary glands. Submaxillary glands. SUBMAXILLARY. Submaxillary glands. So parotid glands, then submandibular or maxillary glands, parotid glands, submandibular or submaxillary glands, and the sublingual glands. You can see the picture. I will wait for 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See in the picture, we'll go to the next. The pancreas. It's having a dual function, you know it. It's an exocrine as well as the endocrine gland. Yeah, you know it. Yeah. Now let's see that where it is in the endocrine system, in the hormonal system, in the chemical coordination, it is working as the endocrine gland. But here it will act as a exocrine gland. Let's see it. See it. It produces the pancreatic fluid that breaks down the categories of food. The pancreatic fluid is secreted into the duodenum, and the alkaline fluid introduced neutralizes the acidic chain. So in the stomach, we know that there is the HCl. So some HCl will be mixed with this food, so it will become a bit acidic. But the alkaline fluid which is introduced by this pancreatic fluid, that is the pancreatic fluid is actually alkaline, which neutralizes the acidic chain. And when it is not able to neutralize it, that time we get the acidity. Mostly it happens in the stomach area only. What happens is that you can see that at different parts we get the pains, so if it is the stomach, almost in the position of the stomach, so that time you can see that the acidity increases. Okay, so the acidity is increasing. More HCl, or maybe uh, some more amount of HCl is produced than the actual amount. So that time the acidity mainly occurs. It mainly occurs due to the over overeating. When it occurs due to the overeating and sometimes due to lactose intolerance. So lactose intolerance is basically disease, you may say, which is mainly found in the adults, in the old age people. You can see that they are, but they can digest the milk. Are digested, but the milk directly they cannot do. As to lactose intolerance, the name comes from there. Okay, explain products. 500 functions. It is located on the right side of the body under the diaphragm. Okay, you can see right side of the body under the diaphragm. Produces bile, which is the fat emulsifier. It is mainly breaking the fats. It's connected to the gallbladder via the common hepatic duct. Okay, we'll see here. See the mm, you can see the picture here. Again, once more, it is given that it's the largest organ in the human body. Yeah, in adults, it weighs about 3 pounds and is roughly the size of a football. Not really, but roughly of a punctured football, you can say. Located in the upper right hand part of the abdomen, behind the ribs. You can see here. You can see here. Just see it here. Just see on the rightmost side. You can see that it is just behind the lower ribs. Okay, it's on the right hand part of the abdomen also. Okay, functions: storage of nutrients, bile secretion, synthesis of plasma proteins, control of cholesterol. Yeah, synthesis of cholesterol also, it also controls the cholesterol. Okay, now the gallbladder. It is sac found in hollow fossa of liver. Okay, it is sac. See here the gallbladder. It is one of the hollow fossa of the liver. In the hollow part, it stores bile from the liver by way of the cystic duct. So here is the cystic duct. These ducts are made of the cystic ducts. Okay, so it just stores the bile from the liver. The bile is introduced in the duodenum in the presence of fatty food. So bile is the, you may say, the breakdown, or the person who is going to break down this fatty food. This fatty food, I am coming, bile says. Now bile says, hey fatty acids and fatty foods, I am coming to break you down. This bile breaks down the fatty foods, and gallstones can cause blockage. Now the question comes, yeah, gallstones will tell, but why does it happen? You know, in the livers or in the gallbladders, anywhere, in the kidneys, livers mostly does not occur. It is very rare. It doesn't occur negligible. Sometimes in the livers also you will get some diseases. Okay, you will get stones in the gallbladders, in the kidneys. This all happens due to the deficit of water. What is much important? Okay, even water can reduce the acidity also. Yeah, because HCl is there. If the water content is less, so HCl amount will be more, so acidity will be there. But if you are putting water, means if you are drinking the water, you cannot just open your stomach and just pour the water like you do in the chemical labs. In the test tube, you take the HCl and then put it. Okay, what so it is in the, but in the chemical labs also you have seen that if you are putting the HCl also, that the teachers are there with you and the teachers just pour it slowly, slowly, so that it doesn't break up. I mean, break up means don't take it in any sense. Break down basically. It does not break up this walls. Break down these walls, not break up. It doesn't give up its work. I told this word break up to say that it doesn't give up its main work, the main function. It doesn't break down the test tubes and all. Slowly it is produced, but most of the times it is seen that we pour the HCl in water, not water in HCl. Because if you are putting water in HCl, also some droplets will come out and it may cause hemorrhage. Okay, so when you're putting the water, now this portion you cannot say that okay, then I will take this water HCl out of my stomach, I will pour the water, then I will pour this HCl again. Doesn't happen like that. Okay, you will drink water, so it will become more dilute. More dilute means slowly the acidity will reduce. Okay, so this